right, so I'm Todd Howard. I'm a game director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios. I have been there since 1994, so a while. Games that I've led, the last three have been Morrowind, Oblivion, and obviously Fallout 3. I was backstage giving out more awards to Little Big Planet because they didn't have enough. So we'll go through this. Excuse me, yeah, like I said, this is the morning for me after last night. So I'm going to give you all an inside look at our development philosophies and our design philosophies at Bethesda Game Studios. So this is kind of what it's like to make a game. That's you. There's your boss. And, how many developers do we have in here? Developers? Who's in the publishing side? Who's press? So, this is you making the big leap. The press is watching on. Some of them are gasping. These are, of course, innocent babies. Fans. And, this is the great leap you make when you go to make a game. And there are many people you have to please. Some of these are internal. And some of these are external. This isn't... We get lots of good mail. We got this last week. I said, I'll take a picture on my iPhone. So when you go to do this, there are many people that, internal and external, that you need to please. But it only comes down to people that ask us, why are you guys doing Fallout? This is kind of a niche game. It didn't sell that well. And our answer was, look, it's great. Great ideas never die. And we were in love with the first game and, felt it needed to be done again. And this goes to when you're pitching your ideas or coming up with them, you're going to get shown lots and lots of charts, okay? And there is no chart, though Michael Pachter might disagree, that will prove your idea good, your design good. Should you do this game? You have to really have faith in your idea because there is no data that will prove it to be valid. The other thing I like to say at work is install base really doesn't matter. Right? So let's say here are the install bases, and my you shouldn't make it for this. And my comeback is, well, if install base mattered, we'd all should make board games because there's a lot of tables. You got to go for it and do something that you really believe in. No, watch the guy on the right. It's better. He takes a while, but the ending is good. You got to be fearless when you make your games. Oh, there comes the shoes. All right. Okay. What is our mission internally at Bethesda Game Studios? What do we strive for as a group? Excellent people, excellent games. These two things go together. I'm a believer you can't have one without the other. Excellent people make excellent games. So excellent people. One of the things we look for, there is no substitute for self-reliance. If you have to overly manage your people and get them to do good, that's probably not a path of success. You need people that know to do it. You have to have a culture of quality. It has to be in your studio. If you have a plan that says this is how we get quality, that might get you there, but ultimately you want a culture. And this is something we look forward to. We have a very low asshole quotient in the studio. Egos don't work, When you're making a game, everybody has to respect each other, something we preach in the studio. When you're talking to somebody about an idea or you want to change something, you don't like if something works, you treat them with respect, their work with respect, and each other. That's it. We want gorillas and sharks high-fiving. Nice. I'm not sure, is that art and programming? I like that image. That's my image for the team working together well. Here's the team that made Fallout 3. We've grown to about 80 people. A lot of them I've worked with for over a decade. Some of them are here today. Really great group of people who really give it their all to make something that we believe in, and that makes all the difference. Excellent games. What are our 3 rules to making excellent games of development? Number 1, great games are played, not made. You can have the biggest design document ever, like, this is genius, look at me. You put it in the game, and you're going to change 90% of it as soon as you play it. So we kind of preach you have to play your game, you have to be ready to throw out the ideas that you think are the greatest. Keep it simple, right? To do features on these platforms and what we're doing, it takes a lot of time, more time than you probably have. So you want to keep it simple. And lastly, define the experience. Don't define your game by a list of bullet points. These are the features the game's going to have. Define the experience that you want the player to have. Excellent people, excellent games. There's our excellent people. And the thing with that is that your plan is not as important as your culture. If somebody comes to you and says, look, I have the schedule. Here, the schedule's perfect. The game's going to be great. Here's the schedule. They're wrong. There's going to be problems. There's always a problems in the schedule, and your culture is what is going to solve those problems. And then your great game. There it is. Your ideas are not as good as your execution. So, again, this goes to the great game being played, not made. That you need to be able to execute your ideas really well. So we're going to step back through those the rules we have. But define the experience. Most people, and I sit in some pitches, they'll define their game as is that awesome and cool. That isn't like the experience. Soak in the 4 collars propped. Yeah. So obviously everyone wants their game to be this. But what is the experience of Fallout? This is one of the very first images we made. It was made by Istvan Peli, our lead artist. Where's East? I saw him. There he is, right there. This was made in 2004. Give it up for East. Yeah. East is very even-keeled. Our artists, does East like that? So I made this to show him when East loves something. We made this when East hates things. We do our research. I want an embarrassing picture of myself to offset that. This is from 2004 as well. So we really look at the old games. What is the experience of Fallout? So obviously we go back and play the old games. But there's this aging quality to them. Here you see the vault in Fallout 1. You see the vault suits, which are very, very iconic Fallout. Another one here, you see some of the violence, which if you played it now, it doesn't register with you because it's, sprites and their arms rip off. But for the day, it was incredibly violent. And lastly, the dialogue, how it was handled. One of the very first games to have, 3D animated heads with voice, lip syncing, showing emotions, and this is in 1997. So one of the tricks we do, and you can use this on your franchises, is read old reviews. So we find old reviews. It removes the aging from what people thought of it. The violence and the animation of these games are just crazy and amazing, and the dialogue and the voice acting and all of those things. If you could actually pull up a review of our first Elder Scrolls game, Arena, just, black out a few words, and you cannot tell what Elder Scrolls game that is. You can't tell if it's Daggerfall or Morrowind or Oblivion. And it really, really helps you get down to what is the experience of that game. There's a great chapter I found in the Fallout 1 hint book it's called One Woman's Journey Through the Wasteland. And it's written just from the perspective of somebody doing it. There's no, what's the interface, and really give you a good sense of the world. And what is the experience of Fallout? For us, it was, to make it more real, obviously the game is in D.C., and the sense of loneliness. And the wasteland is a character. This work was done by Craig Mullins, who we love. The last image of the Capitol actually is one of the pieces in Into the Pixel. So you show you some of the work. And this stuff was done, 4.5, 5 years ago, really as kind of the benchmark for the vibe of the game. Here's some raiders, and they have a Brotherhood of Steel guy they've captured. So, And then we go through, we just do tons and tons of concept work on the key elements of Fallout. So the vault suit, I don't know how many of these we did. This is just a sampling. I mean, we did, I don't even remember, too many. But to really bear down to what is the essence of the vault suit? How do we reinvent it? What would it really look like to make it new again?